being Joseph Jowie Irungu. The act of murder is a heinous crime that challenges the moral fabric of society, shall suffer death justice as provided for the offense of, and so it is not just a loss to the immediate family. Under section 204 in the highest degree of Kenya, but is a loss to the society. And that sentence is lawfully set aside by a court of competent jurisdiction unlawfully. That is the order and so the court. Thank you. Based on everything I have said, I have ordered that the first accused person before this court being Joseph Irungu alias Jowie. Yes, Counsel. Shall suffer death as provided for
copies of the judgment,
the offense of
and
murder,
the sentencing
under section 204
and
of
time
the Penal
proceedings.
Code of Kenya. And as that sentence is lawfully set aside by a court of competent jurisdiction. That is the order of the court. Thank you. Any other counsel wish to address the court?
Melody, patient for the state, apologies I was late. We just want to thank the courts for bringing this matter to a close. We are in alignment with your sentence, and we will still would like a copy of the sentencing ruling once it's available. But we are grateful for the court's indulgence and the way it has handled this matter. Thank you, Melody.
Yes, Counsel.
Yes, Valerie, on behalf of the victim's family, we also wish to thank the court most sincerely in the manner in which
Copies of the judgment,
the family came that justice has been done.
sentencing,
We also
decision, and time proceedings.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other counsel wish to constitutional right which the accused person should feel free to exercise is important. You are entitled to the proceedings, the judgment,
For bringing this matter to a
the court is
close.
delivered on today's judgment. And when the file was brought to me, and I'm sure by now my
We are in
judgment
alignment with your
is
sentence,
available.
and
It was
we
actually
still would
available
like
the
a
same day I
copy
delivered before
of the
7.
sentencing
So
ruling
just
once
ask the
it's
Honorable DR
available.
to give you the proceedings and the
But we are
judgment.
grateful for the court's
I've
indulgence
always said that
and the way it has handled this matter. Thank you, Melody.
my judgment on sentence is here as I was delivering. I could see quite a bit of typo. So it's just an issue
Yes,
for
Valerie,
you to have a copy or sign a copy before end of day, and you should have
We
it.
also wish to
Okay.
thank the court
So
most
unless
sincerely
there is any
in the manner
other
in which
person who is addressing the court, may I have the last
the
right
family
of the hearing?
came that justice.
First and foremost, please allow me to sincerely thank all of you. And that means the parties in the matter, the members of the public, the press, for the support you have given this court. I took over this matter from my brother Justice Wakiaga. And as much as I know there has been a bit of complaint that it's taken long, we did the best we could. Right of appeal is a constitutional right. lost a bit of time during COVID when should activities of the feel free to exercise, but it is important. Take it from me. When you look at the way this matter, and I'm not blowing my own trumpet, I have no reason to, that the court will deliver. But one thing we must appreciate that this matter was being had alongside other matters. Let me say something that probably you wouldn't know. It was actually when I was presiding in the criminal division of the High Court, so just as the Honorable to give you the proceedings, I did a prison visit at the Nairobi remand. They said that, and those inmates took me on this matter until I've delivered. And their question was, kwa nini unakimbiza kesi ya Jowie na Maribe? Na walituacha hapa na just an issue yetu haraka. Polishing it, you should have a copy and sign a copy before end of day with this matter. So for the members of the public who have felt that. So and when we talk about only 6 years, it's also important to consider that there are other matters. First and foremost, so please, we are now making an excuse for anything, but it's good to just make an understanding, and of course, and that means apologize for any inconvenience that the members of the public, the press, by any delay in the hearing of this matter. But you have given this clear, we did the best we could. And so I thank you for your support, because other than the time we had a bit of challenge when I think Professor Nandwa had as much as I know there has been a bit of all the time the lawyers were in court. That is taken and we were able to move on. Long. I have not had a disruption in this matter. The press, we did the best really we congratulate you. I have not had to summon you here to say, what did you report? We except lost a bit of time during COVID when, but maybe I should. Activities of the court slowed down. When I was reported to have said something which was said when I was when you look at the way this matter, and I'm not and I was still on my way here. I have no reason to. And I'm said, but one thing we said that the accused person that this matter must come to court even when she's sick. I don't know where. Let me say something that probably you wouldn't know. Media was reported. When I was presiding in the criminal division of the High Court, you know you must also choose the battles to fight. It's transferred. But what I'm saying is that generally speaking, I really want to thank you. I know you are quite a number of visits and you are understanding, but I've not had any reason to complain that you have not reported. And those inmates took me on this matter. So thank you very much. Please keep up the good job you're doing. And their question was, kwa nini unakimbiza kesi ya Jowie? For the rest of us, thank you for coming. Na Maribe, na walituacha hapa na uendeshi kesi yetu, supporting the judiciary as it were. Haraka. Your patience with us is highly appreciated. And with that, this matter. So for the members of the public who have felt that a good day for the rest of the day, when we talk about only for our staff, yes, it's also important assistant to consider that. And of course, my other good friends, I can even see one whom I worked with for a long time. So please, we are a gentleman there. I'm not making an excuse for anything, but it's good to just make an understanding. Please don't say anything more than just guessing my age. Apologize for any inconvenience that may have been caused. So thank you very much, Court Assistant. Any delay in the hearing of the other matters that are before the court, set the record request, then we officially adjourn the court. And so I thank you for your support, because other than the time we had a bit of challenge when I think Professor Nandwa had a personal issue, all the time the lawyers
for Joseph Irungu alias Jowie was found guilty of the murder of Monica Kimani, businesswoman who was brutally killed in her Lamuria Gardens apartments in Nairobi on the night of September 19th, 2018. Of course, in her ruling, that is Justice Grace Dioka said that the murder was intentional, ruling out any cases of ruling out any cases of accidental, rather said that the murder was intentional. The court ruled that the prosecution had provided sufficient evidence to establish Jowie's culpability beyond a reasonable doubt that he indeed murdered businesswoman Monica Kimani in 2018 at Lamuria Gardens here in Nairobi.
What other media was reported?
All right, we are following keen up on that story. Elsewhere, the Kenyan media sector working group has raised concerns about what they term as systematic undermining of the media freedom, freedom of expression and freedom to access information by Kenyan government and its agent in a blunted subversion of the constitution. Let's cross over and listen in.
But I've not had any reason to complain that you have not reported these matters.
Undermine free market principles and create a hostile environment for media investment. As the united voice of Kenyans independent media, we condemn these actions in the strongest terms possible and call for immediate action to protect media freedom and democratic principles.
And
the Constitution of Kenya, in the Bill of Rights, Article 34, guarantees freedom of the media as a fundamental right.
For our staff,
by forcing government advertising through a single state-controlled channel,
and of course,
the government
my other good friends, I can even see one whom I worked with for a long time,
media.
A gentleman there.
KBC's editorial line has historically mirrored the government's position, leaving little room for critical perspectives or
guessing my age. So thank you very much, Court Assistant. Unless we have any other matters that are before the court, I would request then we officially adjourn the court.
All right. Well, a death sentence it is for Joseph Irungu alias Jowie, was found guilty of the murder of Monica Kimani businesswoman who was brutally killed in her Lamuria Gardens apartments in Nairobi on the night of September 19th, 2018. Of course, in her ruling, that is Justice Grace Nzioka, said that the murder was intentional, ruling out any cases of ruling out any cases of accidental, but rather said that the murder was intentional. The court ruled that the prosecution had provided sufficient evidence to establish Jowie's culpability beyond a reasonable doubt that he indeed murdered businesswoman Monica Kimani in 2018 at Lamuria Gardens here in Nairobi. All right, we're following keen up on that story. Elsewhere, the Kenyan media sector working group has raised concerns about what they term as systematic undermining of the media freedom, freedom of expression and freedom to access information by Kenyan government and its agent in a blunted subversion of the constitution. Let's cross over and listen in.
Of media freedom enshrined in the Kenyan constitution, undermine free market principles and create a hostile environment for media investment. As the united voice of Kenyans independent media, we condemn these actions in the strongest terms possible and call for immediate action to protect media freedom and democratic principles. The Constitution of Kenya, in the Bill of Rights, Article 34, guarantees freedom of the media as a fundamental right. By forcing government advertising through a single step, the government effectively restricts the reach and influence of independent media. KBC's editorial line has historically mirrored the government to stifle dissenting voices, control the public narrative, and ultimately weaken the democratic fabric of the nation. A healthy democracy thrives in plurality of ideas and viewpoints, not on a singular on a singular government-sanctioned, is a signatory to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Kenya ratified this charter on January 23rd, 1992. This means that Kenya is legally bound to uphold the rights and freedoms enshrined in the Charter, including the right to freedom of expression and the right to information, which are both crucial for a free and independent media. Media can flourish, including through the adoption of policies for the provision of financial or other public support for the sustainable sustainability of all media through a fair neutral, independent and transparent process, and based on objective criteria. States shall ensure that the allocation of funds for public advertising is transparent and subject to public accountability, and they shall not abuse their power over the placement of public advertising. States shall adopt effective measures to avoid undue concentration of media ownership, whether horizontal or vertical. Such measures shall not be so stringent that they inhibit the development of the media sector as a whole. Further, the directive offends the Constitution of Kenya 2010 at a multiple level, including A, it offends the principle of governance under Article 10, specifically the principle of inclusivity. By having all government adverts directed to KBC means that all radio and TV audiences must tune into KBC for government information, thus excluding other broadcasters. B, further, the directive offends the legislative intent of Article 34 with regard to media freedom and diversity. Article 34 was intentionally inserted into the Constitution of Kenya to protect freedom of the media, which included freeing Kenyans from the dictatorship of KBC that had permeated under the one-party rule. C, the directive also runs afoul the non-discrimination, equal protection, and equal benefit of the law provisions under Article 27. The directive offends the principles of public finance under Article 201, which provides specifically under Article 10b(3) that the public finance system shall promote an equitable society, and in a particular expenditure shall promote the equitable development of the country, including making special provision for marginalized groups and areas. President of Kenya Editors Guild will continue from there.
I think it's okay. The Kisiangani memo to state officers and independent commissions is therefore an inexcusable breach of his oath of office, short-sighted,
arbitrary, erroneous, malicious, discriminatory, demeans leadership and integrity principles, and therefore patently unconstitutional. We wonder, advertising is not the only service the state procures. Why the obsession to use extra legal and undemocratic measures to control it? Recent similar action by the very same Professor Kisiangani is already the subject of public interest litigation. KBC indeed needs help to grow strong and transform from a state broadcaster to the public broadcaster that the citizens of Kenya enshrined in their constitution. The first step to this is in freeing the hands and minds of the professionals at Broadcasting House to make independent, public-spirited determinations on how to apply its assets and deliver journalism that builds the nation, not to subject them to unhelpful commands from transient political actors calling the shots at any particular time. Worse, the Kisiangani memo defines the latest chapter in the state campaign against free media in the last few months. Evidence abound of state-sponsored trolls of senior editors, ill-advised campaigns against media houses, botched attempts to limit television coverage of political activities, impairment of media regulation mechanisms, to mention but a few. This state campaign has far-reaching consequences beyond